let me give you an example. Let's say you were saving $100 a week. Okay, jot that down. That means over a year you'd save about $5,000. And let's say we're after $15,000 to get into some good investments that can see immediate return. That's going to take us how many years? 3 years to come up with 15 grand. Quickly jot down for me, if you will. How long is it taking you to save your last 15,000? Just jot that down. So how can we get started sooner? Could we, for instance, what if we did this? Could we borrow $15,000 right up front, starting, say, next week? If we were to borrow that money, obviously it helps if we have a job. Okay, would that help? Now, if we don't have a job, what might be a good idea? Starting off 5 years ago to get a job was I went and worked for free. Most people are not willing to do that, are they? Go and do a week's trial for free. Okay? Is the employer going to be happy if someone's willing to work for free? That gives you a great head start. Okay? Simple way. Also negotiate up and get paid more. $15,000. If you get a personal loan, how else can we borrow this? Credit card, family, friends, numerous different ways. You've got to figure out how to come up with some money. Okay? We come up with that money. Let's say that's going to cost us probably $75 a week in repayments. Is it fair enough? Ballpark, depends how you borrow it. So we've got to come up with that $75 a week from somewhere. We're already saving $100 a week. Let's say an example. Could we take that money that we're saving and use that to pay off the loan? Without, effect. So we take that and use it to pay off the loan. So that's going to pay that off, taken care of. What it gives us, though, is $15,000 right up front to invest immediately and use some strategies on. So we take that $15,000, then it's a question of being educated to know where to invest it. One place I know that I like to invest in with $15,000, or more obviously, with $15,000 I know, like right now, next week, today, next month, whenever you wanted to do this, and some Australians will go through tonight, that $15,000 in a low to medium risk strategy could generate you anywhere from $500 per month up to, say, $1,200 a month, sometimes more per month in instant cash flow without the need to work for that money. Repeat after me. Something to think about. Money sitting in super is a much higher level risk than some of these things. Buying a car, much bigger risk. Okay? This can be done with less risk than all those things, and you could generate that sort of return on $15,000. You could then, if you got really creative, if you were taught how to get leverage, you could turn that $15,000, and even if you were bankrupt, you'd be able to get a loan for at least another $30,000. Just as an example, I'm not saying rush out and do this, but as an example, you could be bankrupt and still get money loaned to you. Okay? So if you're not bankrupt, it's going to be even easier. Let's say in a strategy I want to cover tonight, you could turn that $15,000, borrow another $30,000 would give you $45,000. Just use an example here, how you can turn money into more. $45,000. If $15,000 produces that, that's 3 times the amount. Times this by 3 is going to now be $1,500 up to what? $3,600. Instant cash. Most months of the year. Repeat after me. Something to think about. The key is obviously knowing how to do that. One, having the mindset to be able to take action with it. But you can see how a very small amount of money can all of a sudden turn into enough income to replace most people's income. With less risk than what they're doing right now. Is there risk involved in this? Yes, there's risk to everything. But we're already taking risks. We're going to talk about taking less risk, but earning much more. Sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? Would you like to see it in detail so you can check it out? Okay. We'll come back to that in a